Lowell! Resi RNG here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Music Talk stream, hosted by y'all's favorite music-loving, yarn-spinning catboy in the flesh. Once again, I hope you all are doing well. It's been a while since our last Music Talk stream, I know, but like they said, that's because I was sort of busy moving and couldn't really line up a guest properly in time for it at the time. But now I am moved into my new apartment. This is my first stream in the new place, and I gotta say it's a pretty conducive room to streaming, I think. Especially because it came with a banger desk chair that I get to use now, and yeah, no, it's a pretty cozy space so far. Though it's kind of been a rough week adjusting. I mean, the unfortunate thing is I had to work like all days this week because I had to make up there was a holiday I think last Friday that I had off for. I mean, that was good because that helped me settle into my new place then, but I don't know, this week's kind of been busy for me. And then of course there's just been hell like happening everywhere else in the world. I mean, not just the world, but the VTuber community. Oh sheesh, there is some fucking shit going on in the VTuber world these days. I'm not going to talk about any of it on stream, at least not in specific. I mean, if you want my opinion on any of that, go to my Twitter. If you still use Twitter, I mean, I only use Twitter these days for giving it the energy that it gives me, which is negativity. So I'm always sniping at assholes in the VTuber community in there, and there have been a lot of assholes popping up recently. It's been a very stressful time. So I'm glad to be with you guys once again, talking music, chilling, and meeting new VTubers who also share passions for music. With that being said, I feel like we should introduce our guest for the evening. I think I first got in touch with her a few months ago because I was interested. She ran this like sort of music project. It was like one of the few VTubers I'd seen out there that was like doing their own sort of music project. That wasn't just themselves under a name. And it's called Lunar. And I was interested in getting them on the show, but unfortunately they weren't quite available at the time. But they recently reached out and they were like, "Hey, can I get on again?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll line you up. That works out perfectly for me." So I'm looking forward to talking with them today. Would you all please welcome Akiko Kumagara?
Hello.
How's it going, Akiko? Glad to have you on the stream.
Pretty good. Yeah, I was very sick through most of the winter months, so I could not come on sooner.
Oh, that's okay. We're all busy people with human conditions that get in the way at times. So usually I like to start these streams off by giving my floor to my guests, and in doing so, I like to ask them, "Hey, Marissa the Magician, how's it going?" "Hello, it's 1 a.m. here, so I should really be in bed, but I want to really say hi and just say hi to you and Akiko." Well, I'm glad you could make it, and welcome.
Hi, friend.
I assume Marissa is one of your colleagues.
Blue Sky compatriot.
Ah, very nice. Let me see. Yeah, so usually I like to start these streams off by asking my guests, like what really sparked their passion for music. Because, it's one thing to be like, sort of casually listening to it on the side and having it as like background mute music in your day-to-day life, right? But it's another entirely to sort of run a project with a VTuber avatar on the side, right? So, like, where did that all sort of stem from for you?
Okay, so I've been into music my whole life, as you probably have as well.
Nice, yeah.
But I really wanted to start a band as early as middle school. And I didn't have any instruments. I didn't have money.
Oh no.
So this project started out as me writing lyrics for songs that I still probably, well, I don't have anywhere, but I could probably get them out of my brain somehow
Oh.
and use them.
So you started
But
essentially out as a poet.
basically, um, yeah. So I listen to music all the time, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I want to deliver my messages too, you know.
Mhm.
So music is
Absolutely.
my way of doing that even now. So VTubing is more of a just hanging out with friends or making new friends, and then
Yeah.
my music is sharing my message. It's a
Mhm.
little different.
Ah,
So
I see.
I use both mediums for different things.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever do you ever do like your own like sort of karaoke stuff? As a VTuber, do you like do karaoke streams, or have you thought about doing concerts?
I think you cut. You're back.
Oh, oh no,
your your voice cut out for like the last I don't know how long. I
oh
didn't hear what you
no.
said though.
Oh, I think we had like a little connection hiccup there. Like,
I heard
Have you been
I heard
considering
have
like,
you ever? That's what I was left
yeah,
off with.
have you ever considered like doing concerts as a VTuber? I mean, I know that's a whole production and a half in and of itself, but like, not just like doing that or like karaoke streams, like performing more
I
as a V.
yeah, yeah, I've done a live performance on stream, but
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
it was just me playing guitar over my songs, which was really fun, but it's
Hey,
also very
yeah.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to set that up. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, it was entertaining. I've done that before, but that's
Mm.
not a thing I want to do regularly. Uh,
Yeah. Makes sense.
live shows is more intriguing to me because I
Yeah.
have done that before.
Mm.
We can get to that. I've been in two bands that actually played live shows. One I got into when I was in high school, and I
Mm-hmm.
played probably 100 shows with them. And
Oh,
then
nice.
yeah, and then the following project was made up of some members of that former band, and we
Mm.
played 2 or 3 shows. But I do
Mm.
miss it. It was a
No,
lot of fun.
it's always fun having those like high school or just leaving high school sort of bands. Like I had one of those myself back in the days when I was just graduating high school. It was like a local sort of garage rock indie rock trio, which was very fun, and that helped me sort of find, I guess, my voice on drums. That was when I was going to college and like taking jazz lessons for the first time and really sort of expanding my my ability, as it were.
Yeah, I I'm not a drummer, but I'm putting together a kit right now.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
learn. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
gonna learn to play everything just
Mm.
because I can.
Like
Being
a
an adult is cool because I can just do that now.
like a full acoustic kit, or like are you buying an
Yeah, yeah.
electronic?
No, it's
Oh
acoustic.
wow.
It's in
Oh.
my basement.
Oh, okay. Lucky you having the basement. I'm up
Mhm.
here in New York City. I gotta play with the with the electric kit.
Yeah, I'm missing about half the stuff I need still for that kit, but
Oh yeah.
and
I mean,
it was
hey,
like
you
I
just go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
To be fair, you don't really need that much for a full drum kit. Like what is it? It's like only like you got like a tom, a floor tom, a snare, a kick drum, like maybe a cymbal and a hi hat, and you're good.
Yeah, okay, so here's what I've got the bass drum, kick
Yeah.
drum. I've got low, mid, and high tom.
Mm.
I've got a snare drum,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm missing I do have a hi-hat stand with like the pedal and everything. I
Yeah.
have
You need
not
some
got
cymbals.
I've not got a hi-hat.
Oh
I've
yeah.
not got any cymbals, and I've not got a pedal for the kick drum.
Oh no.
So it's like I'm literally missing like half of the value of the kit with not
Yeah.
having that stuff.
Well, I'm sure you should be able to snag some stuff on Facebook Marketplace at some point. You know, I've got
Uh,
a friend. Yeah. What's that groan? You've had experiences.
I have left Facebook as of this year, so
Oh,
and
well,
I'm not
that
really
makes
trying to
sense.
get back on there. Yeah,
I don't blame you. I was just thinking, I have a
I
friend.
heard you at the start talking about how things have been like getting shitty, and like
Yeah,
that was one of those things for me where it's like I don't really want to
absolutely.
be here anymore. I was on there
Yeah.
since 2009, and I was just done with it.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know why I'm still there. I don't know. I just have a stupid attachment for some reason to, all the stuff that I already have there, I guess.
I liked Marketplace, and I liked that all of my
Yeah,
friends from like high school were on there.
that's true. Marketplace
But
is really interesting. Like I was saying, I have a friend in a band who who makes a lot of impulse purchases on Facebook Marketplace. He finds like all these like interesting little guitars and like other stringed instruments that he just collects all the time.
yeah, so at this point, I'd be more likely to try like Reverb or something, somewhere I can just buy used gear, but not Facebook Marketplace probably.
Yeah. So what instruments do you know how to play at the moment?
So my main instruments lately are bass and guitar,
Okay.
and that's composing. I feel pretty competent with those instruments, and I can play them effectively enough
That's
to play
fine.
my music when I need to.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but some of my songs that I've written in the past few years are difficult for me to play. So, hey,
Makes sense.
anyone wanna like guest spot in my song? You
Yeah.
can play the leads. It'd be pretty
Oh
cool.
my.
You're better at
Yeah.
guitar than I am. Do it. Try
That's
it.
that's the rub, isn't it? I just got done. I'm doing this documentary on like it's a series of documentaries on like the history of glam metal, and I'm currently working on the second part that's covering its like peak years. There was this band called Warren. I don't know if you're familiar, but for their first albums, their guitars were decent, but they weren't on like the level of the standard glam metal guitarists of the time. So what ended up happening was the producer had brought in like this session guitarist to overdub specifically these solos to be flashier than they could play. It's just
Yeah, that's basically what I need in my life, except I'm silly and write the verses to play like solos, and I'm like, I can't actually play this.
yeah,
But I'm gonna have to because I'm not gonna try and make someone else play my music.
yeah,
But
makes sense. I mean,
to
I've wanted to learn like guitar and bass for a while, at least to the level, like you said, where I'm able to like structure together a song with it. Like when I all three times I've tried learning the guitar, I've always sort of clicked with chords and chord progressions. Like if I can just get good enough to be like a rhythm guitarist at the very least, I would be happy with that.
yeah, I mean, for rhythm, I'm playing power chords the whole time, so I
Yeah,
I get I get it, but that's like not my thing. Playing like doing the weird finger positions, doing all that with chord.
absolutely. Yeah,
That's just not me. I'll play power chords and then I'll play riffs over them. That's more my style anyway, musically.
yeah. That's
But
fair. That's fair.
to explain more, because you kind of introduced Lunar Shift. To explain more what that is, it
Yeah.
was originally just me being sad that I wasn't making music anymore. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I'm gonna kind of do this solo thing and see what comes of it.
Hmm.
But then eventually I was able to collab with some vocalists
Oh, yeah.
and decided that that's the way I should go.
Hey, yeah. No,
Because
that's
originally I was releasing my music instrumentally for most things. And I was like, yeah, I want vocals on this, but I'm not very good.
hey,
So
yeah. I mean, it's
I can do like a demo version and have my vocals on it. That's fine. But it's not gonna be what I want to release as like a
yeah,
final rendition of my music.
yeah. I
So
mean,
it turned into more of a a collaborative project where I will bring people in and be a part of it.
I mean, hey,
But
like
there
outsourcing.
are no other members currently.
Yeah.
I've had one member join me temporarily, but she did not stick around for very long.
Okay.
Which is fine. Because
yeah.
stuff happens. Life happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, it's all remote. I don't do any in-person stuff. I would love to play live shows, but making a band,
yeah, I mean,
it's harder than ever. Which is weird because we're more connected than ever before.
Yeah. Now I've wanted for a while.
We're more connected on the internet and less connected in our real lives. That's the problem. So I don't know people around me who make music. I just don't.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I've wanted to form a VTuber band for a while, but it's just like that and like the whole logistics of it, and latency's a fucking bitch for something like that over the internet, you know? Like, especially if you want to like practice together or anything like that. It's virtual bands have their limitations for sure.
I will say the thought of it intrigues me in terms of having a VTuber band.
Yeah.
Because you could do conventions.
Oh yeah.
And perform live, and like that could be your shows.
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
You get paid probably to fly out there and perform. It'd be
like,
kind of sick.
Like if you can get to the production value of something like a fucking Gorillaz, that would be stellar.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down for something like that, but it seems hard to find other people who are into that, and I don't know a lot of VTubers who do things other than sing.
Yeah, no, it's I love coming across like VTuber instrumentalists that like compose their own music and like record themselves doing it. It's like there's so much talent in the VTuber community, but it is hard to like find where it is sometimes. What was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, so sort of going back to like instrument talk. What other instruments would you like to learn if you had the time to? I mean, I know you mentioned that you're learning now how to play drums and what.
I gotta give you more history if we're gonna go down the instrument rabbit hole.
Okay, sure.
So, a lot of schools in the U.S. people will know do the recorder program.
Oh yeah, school. Hot cross buns summoning Satan. Let's go.
That's like my first instrument that I actually learned how to play, and then I moved on. Through middle school and high school, I played trombone with the band, which is pretty interesting. I got really good at it, but it's not something like I would want to play today.
Right.
I played in jazz band where I played trombone one year, and I tried to play guitar, but I didn't tell anyone that I was very incompetent at reading sheet music and playing these chords. But I mean, I faked it enough that it worked.
Yeah.
So my few shows that we did with jazz band in my senior year, I was playing guitar well enough.
I used to do jazz band in high school too on the drum set. That was fun times.
So yeah, that's like my origins in terms of not the band stuff, but the band stuff came around the same time too.
Right,
so.
Right.
The performing band, not like the school band, I mean.
Yeah. But are there any other like instruments that you have an inclination to want to try in the future?
Yeah, I've a few times I've looked on eBay for repairable shamisen.
Ooh, that would be fun.
They're very expensive, but if you can buy one that's just, a little broken and fix it up, just save like a huge amount of money.
I'm sure.
I've wanted to get a 5-string bass for like 10 plus years now, but it just hasn't happened because the ones I specifically am into are very expensive, and I am very cheap.
5 strings are fucking sick. I always love when I'm playing with a bassist that uses a 5-string.
Yeah, I've been tempted though a few times by cheap ones where I'm maybe I should just buy this because it's like $300 and That's not a lot of money, really.
I
Like
mean,
that,
hey,
it
if
can
you
make
can
me more
budget
money than that effectively. Yeah, I can justify it if I can say, well, I raised $500 to make my album that I'm working on. So,
it.
if I put a little bit of that towards an instrument that'll make the album better, then
Exactly. Put up a 501(c)
uh
or whatever the tax exemption thing is.
yeah, I could do that. I could do a tax write-off for it. But
Oh god.
um yeah, I was supposed to release my latest album in December, which is actually technically my debut album because everything else has been like demo CDs, whatever.
An EP's
Uh,
right, yeah.
but yeah, singles and demos is what I've released. But it's hard. Writing music is really hard. And if you're
Uh-huh.
not in the right mind to compose, then you just gotta hope something comes out that doesn't
No,
suck.
I totally
Or you
agree.
just, yeah, because you can't rush the creative process. And like, I've been
Yeah.
trying so hard to get in the zone, and it's
Yeah.
been it's been impossible lately.
So what is your process, if I may ask? Like, do you have any methods for sparking inspiration in particular?
Okay, so this is what sucks about how I get inspired.
Sure.
I listen to music like in my car when I'm going
Okay.
places. I'll put it on shuffle sometimes. I have a music player because I'm weird like that. I have like a dedicated music player that I use
Hey.
in my car. It's got all my FLAC files on it. I put it on shuffle. And I'm like, wait, this is really cool, and I want to make something like this. Not I'm not saying rip it off. I'm saying like stylistically this is cool, or it's cool how they did
like
this.
you kind of write like you have it on
solo.
shuffle.
But I'll just hear something that comes up in my music when I'm just listening. But the problem is I'm in my car driving. So I can't be like, wait, I have this idea, and I start singing it. I sing it, and I'm like, oh no, I lost it. There goes my idea.
Yeah, no,
So my process lately has been that. It's been disappointing.
yeah, it kind of sucks when that happens, when you think of a really good idea, but you don't really have any way on hand to get it down. I've had that happen to me a few times. There are a few
Or in the
riffs.
shower. That's a good one.
Oh man, yeah. There are a few riffs like I've thought up that I've just sort of committed to memory because I don't really know, like, I mean, I suppose I could like bring up a voice note and try to to hum it down. And that's actually fun fact how what was it? Alice in Chains guitarist Gary Cantrell, that's how he wrote one of their riffs, like back in 2014. I think the song fuck, I forget what song it is, but it's a really sick riff.
Yeah, for me. It's gonna have to be like if I'm in my car and I have an idea and I'm not like in a rush. I'll like pull over and maybe just record it and be like, all right, well at least I got it.
Hey, that'd be a good idea for like an origin, or that's a good premise for like a song's origin. Like pull up to a fucking McDonald's rest stop or whatever and hum like the bridge in your voice note. And 3 years later, you're telling that story on Jimmy Kimmel, and he's just gonna double over crying.
Yeah, my songs are very simple though. So
yeah,
if I get a good idea, it can be a foundation for a whole song. It doesn't
absolutely.
it doesn't have to be like, oh, I just came up with a bridge or something. It could be like, well, that's like most of my song because I'm gonna do my style where I do verse, whatever, pre-chorus, chorus.
Oh, I see. So you kind of like
down. I have a specific like layout that all my songs follow.
Yeah,
Basically,
okay.
it's something I do subconsciously, but all of my songs are like the same structure.
I see.
Yeah, I definitely always have like an intro.
Then
I have a verse. I'll have a breakdown or a pre-chorus of some sort, then a chorus. Then if I didn't have the breakdown before the chorus, it's coming right after the chorus. We're going into the verse again. The verse is the same as the first. It's a repeat, and then we're just looping it again, and that's the song. That's my music.
Do you are there times recently where you've thought of breaking that formula for some sort of effect?
I sure would like to. It does get old. I definitely want to do something more diverse.
I mean, hey, that's
I want a song that's not predictable like my songs are now.
That's the good thing about keeping a wide music collection on hand like you do, having something that you can put on shuffle and just like get all these ideas flowing in, it could help you to like, I don't know, find some sort of structure to sort of evolve past that. I don't know how to say, like, it sounds pretentious to like want to continually.
No, it's fine.
I don't know, to continually break song structure like you're some sort of prog rock artist.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
structure works, but at the same time, it is fun to break it and and develop new conventions.
Yeah, well, some of the music I like to listen to is pretty chaotic.
Oh, yeah.
Structure and just not adhering to any particular genre specifically.
Right. Oh, that's
I like
fun,
stuff
yeah.
all over the place. I like it, but I think it takes a lot of talent to do that.
Yeah. By the
Possibly
way,
more than I have.
By the way, hi Caliper died. Poggers Woggers in chat. Poggers.
That is a good friend of mine. Hi, Caliber.
I
haven't had this talk with my friends or my community either, so they're hearing this all for the first time.
Oh yeah. No, how to say, I've recently been listening to more Between the Buried and Me. I don't know how familiar you are with those guys, but there's a lot of custom songs that people have charted for like the Rock Band series over the years that I've been playing. I play a lot of Yarg, yet another rhythm game that fan-made Rock Band clone. And their songs are really fucking out there. Like, it's like very avant metal. 1 minute they'll be like super growly death metal sort of style. The next minute it'll be like technical stuff with clean vocals. And the next they'll be doing like a fucking polka salsa number or whatever. It's great.
Yeah, so bands I've listened to that kind of fall into that category. I wrestled a bear once. Did a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
And they're really fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like the most incredible band in the world, but they are pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I've heard a few of their songs. They've got.
I
some
like their
chops.
original vocalist, Chris Stubb, but Courtney LaPlante replaced her at some point. And I'm like, I'm not really into her. She's better now than she ever was, so
I see.
It worked out. Yeah, I wrestled a bear once is one of them, and then there's Japanese bands like Maximum the Hormone who do stuff like that. It's really sick. Hysteric Panic is one of my favorite Japanese bands, and they do stuff like that all the time.
Oh, that's cool. I really need to get more into, like, I don't know. I only know certain Japanese metal up to a certain point. I mean, part of that is because I'm doing the research I'm doing right now on glam metal, and like all the metal I'm familiar.
I can show you a bunch.
Okay. Yeah, definitely send me like any recs you got over Discord or whatever. But like I'm largely familiar with like all the flashy stuff like from the 80s, like that gave birth to like Visual K, how to say, because like Loudness, X, those guys, they're fucking killer.
It's funny, I always knew them as X Japan, just because that's what they called themselves on social media and stuff. So I'm like, yeah.
No, I've just sort of been immersed in like their early history recently and how they basically blew up from like this small sort of like freak band that got banned from clubs into like selling out fucking Nippon Budokan by like the end of the 80s. Their story is crazy.
I think I watched a documentary on YouTube about them at some point.
Oh yeah, I think
so.
There was one that I saw that was like they went into depth on like their final concert. I don't know if I ever finished that one, but yeah,
there was one about an idol group that I watched too that was kind of similar, where they were doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, well, one of the first like Japanese metal bands in general, like Bow Wow, they started off as sort of like an idol concept, but then like what was it? The idol manager that found all the members, like he discovered that the guitarist was really fucking good, and so they were like, yeah, we're just gonna kind of let them do their thing, and turns out they became like basically the Japanese equivalent to Van Halen.
That's nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm like really into the Japanese music stuff, so that's like 80% of what I consume at least lately.
Yeah.
And for like the last 13 years, it's like most of what I listen to.
I mean, your tastes in general, I found, you sent a list of some of your favorite artists to me before stream and leading up to it. And there was a lot of metalcore and pop punk on there. So like, I was kind of curious, like what's the history there? Was that like one of your first loves in terms of rock or metal, or like?
Okay. Let's see, how can I explain my musical origins? My very first concert when I was a child that I went to
Oh, nice.
was, you'll never
Yeah.
believe it, NSYNC and Smash Mouth.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was great. I was a huge NSYNC fan when I was a
Hell
kid,
yeah.
and I still like them. It's kind of cool that they get together and do stuff still all these years later. They're
I saw
getting
Smash
old.
Mouth too, actually. They came to my college back in the day.
Yeah, I mean before the memes. This was 2002, I believe.
Oh, hell yeah.
2002. Yeah. So it was before the Shrek memes, but that they blew up from the Shrek memes. So whatever, they were already big, but
I
they
wouldn't
were
say
really
whatever.
big after that.
I wouldn't say whatever happened to them after that was blowing up. The fucking, oh my god, the audience when I went to go see them in college, there were people in the front row, literally cosplaying characters from Shrek 2.
That's so funny.
It was wild.
No, that's great though. I'm sure they love that too. But that was my very first concert, and I guess maybe that's when I got the idea in my head that like, okay, I'm just gonna make music for the rest of my life.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because I love music, and this is really cool. This is such a cool thing to see. So I started out, I was into the boy bands. I was into radio pop and rock. But in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, that stuff was really good.
Mm-hmm.
These days, I don't know if I can say the same about a lot of it. But
I mean,
also,
rock, mainstream rock these days, I feel like the best stuff is more underground. I mean, rock is just in general sort of forced underground more these days.
yeah, I agree. So the bands you'd be talking about if you say pop punk on the ones I sent would be like Fall Out Boy and Blink-182.
Right,
That's pretty
yeah.
much it for those. But yeah, I mean, I was into Blink because MTV. They were on there a lot.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy came a little later. I think it was from radio play or them being in like a rock band or something.
Right.
That I first heard them, and I didn't love them at first. And then I heard more of their songs. I'm like, wait, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then I heard even more of their songs. I'm like, okay, this debut album of theirs is actually kind of a banger. I wonder why no one's ever heard most of these songs.
Yeah.
It's like Saturday is a really good song. That
I
does
need
not
to
get enough love.
I need to listen to Fall Out Boy's earlier albums more in depth. I kind of I regrettably missed that train because I didn't really start getting into music as a kid until I played like Guitar Hero and Rock Band as games. But they had a few good songs on Guitar Hero and Rock Band that were like from Fall Out Boy. So
just for disclosure, I'm 30 years old, so
that's fine. That's fine.
I'll give you a sort of feel for where I'm at and like what I grew up with. Some of my favorites from when I was a kid, like radio rock, like Goo Goo Dolls. They're pop rock.
Yeah.
I really love them.
I was talking the other day actually with one of my bands about Goo Goo Dolls. I don't really know too much of them outside of Iris, and I'm not really sure if I want to, get more acquainted. But apparently they have like a very like punk early catalog, so like that might be interesting.
I mean, I think all their hits are also their best songs. So
Oh yeah,
they're like top 5 songs are probably what you need to hear
yeah,
to really
yeah.
say how you feel about them.
That's true. That's true.
Uh, but yeah, just stuff I heard on the radio, whatever, because that's what I had back then.
Yeah.
And MTV or VH1, whatever was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was into growing up. But that's also where I got like the how did I not put Rise Against on my list? Anyway, that's how I got into the kind of like the more punk, because it's pop punk. It was playing on MTV and on the radio.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for when they were being super edgy and those songs were just blacklisted from everywhere. I'm not gonna mention the lyrics of some of Blink's songs that are very, very inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
But you can look into that if you wish.
Pop punk in general, just super immature. Very very teen oriented genre.
Yeah. So name number like Sum 41. I like them. Blink 182. I like them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
They have really fun songs.
No,
oh,
not really.
Limp Bizkit, oh my god. I was also
Not
talking
really
with my band about Limp Bizkit, and it's crazy how like Fred Durst has attained the status in recent years of like an elder rock star. It's
I like Fred Durst. I don't like his music that much.
That is entirely fair.
I think
he's a
cool.
he's a really interesting creative guy. He was in I Saw the TV Glow. Like he's got a really interesting career even beyond what he's most known for in Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Thing. Oh yeah, so I said Rise Against. They're like my transitional band.
Oh yeah.
From when I was going from here's like the stuff everyone knows to okay, this is a little heavier. It's not like metal or metalcore yet, but it's getting to that point. We're getting closer. Sometimes there's harsh vocals, screams, whatever. And then Kill Switch Engage, I found around the same time.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh fuck. This is really good. And I'm like, I didn't like metal before, but this is really good. Which was my song was My Curse.
Oh yeah. No, I'm familiar with that too from like the Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. That was a kick-ass song.
I found it shortly before it was included in those games because I saw the music video on a TV station that does not exist anymore, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I believe it was I want to say it was called Fuse, but that might be wrong. It was one of those stations that played music videos of more heavier bands than the two popular ones.
It's crazy how much
cool.
music TV there was before YouTube really took off. Like when you think about it. Like I used to grow up on like VH1 reruns of old videos.
Yeah, or like watching Beavis and Butthead watch music videos in their show. It's so funny.
God.
And they just react in real time. They're like the original React content if you think about it.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
they literally did like YouTube style reactions to music videos like 30 years ago almost.
Yeah. Them and
So
the fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys were ahead of their time.
So good.
Hell yeah. What was I gonna... So how are you finding like new artists these days? Like do you listen to a lot on Spotify or
no?
Do you not use Spotify?
I do not touch Spotify anymore.
That's good on you.
I go on this website called youtube.com
Oh.
and it's pretty good at knowing what I like for the most part.
Well, there you
So
go.
I'll just, when I'm casually scrolling for whatever, I listen to a lot of music on YouTube, so it knows to give me music sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll check occasionally. I'll play one of the songs I like to listen to, and I'll
Mhm.
look at the related videos on the sidebar. And if something catches my eye, I will click on it. If I don't like it within like 30 seconds, I'll just move on. That's how I discover new music lately.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I I tend to let YouTube's algorithm help me out a lot with that too. It's the whole reason I fucking got into like city pop and whatnot back in the day. But also like I don't know, being a channel that tends to do like research and like has to, listen to music not for a career but like sort of working to like write a script. Like I find I'm not like actively discovering new artists as much as it is like reevaluating old ones that I used to love. It's interesting. I've been listening
So,
to a lot more like rat and like early glam metal than I have in fucking years.
so in instances where you do kind of find a band that like you hadn't heard of before, do you have it like I don't want examples. Do you have
Yeah.
experiences where you've discovered an artist and you're like, this is actually really shit? I'm just curious. Like this, like why did people like this back in whatever the 80s or whatever you're adventuring in?
uh
I'm
let me
just yeah,
see.
it's just a curiosity.
No,
You don't need to give me an
I'm trying to
example.
think of names, because it's really like glam metal. The history of glam metal is fascinating to me because early on it was very much like counterculture, trying to pose up as like these big haired peacocks like that were larger than life and like providing these like massive shows there or like very fun as hell shows to their crowds. Like the early bands like that emerged from LA like Motley Crue, Rat,
I like a few
Dokken,
Motley
those
Crue
guys.
songs.
Like those guys like the early glam metal stuff, that's all well and good. It's when you get to like all the imitators and second wave and third wave people as they emerged in like the mid to late 80s that it really goes off the rails. So like for instance, I'm not the biggest fan of Poison, Pretty Boy Floyd, Danger, Warrant. There's
Yep,
there's a
yep.
lot of really
All right, I
boring
getcha.
bands in from that time, and some of them do interesting things here or there, but like it's not like they're batting 1,000 like Rat usually did with their albums. I really fucking love Rat and like the way they use guitar harmonies in their music. Like definitely, in my opinion, the best glam metal band. I don't know if it would be accurate to say they're overrated or underrated. I think they're just sort of rated these days. Like it's especially wild too. Like I saw this video on YouTube about Rat, which explored that basically there was a shit ton of legal trouble with them back in like the mid 2010s. It's like I think it was their drummer went on tour and like sort of claimed the Rat name, and they got embroiled in this whole legal battle with him because what was it? They signed something in the 90s that was like this this whole contractual it was a whole fucking thing. And I'm just sitting over here like, huh, I haven't listened to Rat in years and I completely missed this.
That seems to keep happening with a lot of artists.
Oh my god,
that-
yeah,
With there was an issue with Breaking Benjamin at one point where
yeah,
Ben got sick of the band members kind of sucking and like just kicking them all out.
yeah,
Like it's his
yeah.
band and his name, so he has the full authority to do that. But they wanted to fight him on it. I'm like, why? It's his band. It was his band before you guys joined it too.
It's not breaking other guys.
That's also why I'm very careful. That's why I'm very cautious about potentially recruiting members to my
Yeah.
project.
No, it's fair. Like, you get a lot
Because
more control when it's your vision.
it's the control I like, and the just overall I want my message to be shared through this, so I don't
Yeah.
want other people's stuff
And I
filling the
mean,
gaps.
like I was, yeah, like I think I was wanting to say this earlier, but like, the whole approach of being like a single act, a single musician act is totally like, there's like, what's his face, fucking Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, like
Oh yeah.
he's been he's been a busy, be like Robert, what's his face, Robert Fink, whoever it was that was, I don't know if it was Fink or Robert Patrick, that's the guy of Filter. I love Filter, like that first Filter album with Hey Man, Nice Shot. That is some sick industrial music. And then also, did you know Tame Impala is one guy? Because fucking
No,
Tame
I
Impala,
never looked into that.
Tame Impala's music is brilliant. I love a lot of the stuff that comes out of Australia, like from their psychedelic rock scene. They have like two distinct psychedelic rock scenes in my experience. Like all the bands over in Perth, like Tame Impala and Ponds, and like their sort of followers there, but also, in Melbourne, like I love what was it? If you've never heard these names before, brace yourself. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard and Psychedelic Corn Crumpets. Those are two incredible bands.
I've heard the first one. Not the second one. That's great though.
Yeah, no, it's those Aussies they have a funny way with their band names.
Yeah, when you were talking about like the second and third wave of the glam metal thing.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm just like, I was ranting about a band recently, Greta Van Fleet.
Oh my god.
Why are they so unoriginal? Oh my god. It drives me insane that they are just literally Led Zeppelin.
I have literally been on the Greta Van Fleet hate train since their fucking debut EP. Like, I won't say I hate them. I think they are good at playing. They are good at what they do. But
They're
what
good
they
at
do,
mimicking a style.
but what they do is completely. It's completely like it's been there, done that. Like I appreciate.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying they're generic because they're not. The problem is they sound exactly like another band on purpose, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and like even like from the snippets I've heard of like their albums since like what was their debut, the something of the Peace Army or whatever, like everything I've heard from them since, I mean they've been trying to root themselves in broader classic rock beyond Led Zeppelin, which I welcome, but I don't know, it's just they had a window to get critical attention back on rock music or whatever, to expand their sound beyond just being Led Zeppelin imitators. And they were being branded the fucking saviors of rock. I hate that term whenever the music press tries to...
because of what they mean is everything from the modern times that doesn't sound like classic rock is bad, which is not true.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been of the mind that rock music, it doesn't need to be saved, it needs to be changed. Like, we're living in a time now where musical synthesis and like mixture between genres is more and more common. Like rock music rock music, of course, will always have some sort of je ne sais quoi to it, but it doesn't hurt to incorporate elements from like maybe trap, maybe R&B, maybe more electronic styles of recent, but I don't know. I'm not the sort of I'm not the sort of person that's knowledgeable in like modern trends or whatever.
Yeah, I actually have I can't say a plan. I've got a desire to collaborate with someone who does electronic music in a community that I'm in,
Oh, nice.
and they seem interested. So that's possibly going to happen on my album.
Oh, that's
We'll see.
awesome. Like
But
fusing
I think
electronic.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, come up with something for me, and I will come up with something that complements it, and like
Fu-
I can work around whatever you give me.
Fusing electronic music and rock music can create some brilliantly energetic fucking music. Like what was it? I remember, I think it was my cousin exposed me to STS9 and their sort of like long trancy like drum and bass sort of jamming. That was a lot of fun. And also like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they recently had a run of concerts last year where they broke out this like synth table that they jammed on. It was phenomenal. Like when you get a really rock solid rhythm section rocking it up, and you know you're putting out all these bells and whistles with the synths on top of that, it's phenomenal.
Heck yeah. For me, it's like the metalcore bands and post-hardcore bands that did that in like late 2000s. I heard tons of it. And now these days, I hear less of it because everyone's trying to undo all of that for some reason. Like pretend that didn't happen. We're not doing the fun stuff anymore. We're just gonna play our guitars really aggressively now.
Yeah,
Here you
yeah.
go.
And I mean,
But
I appreciate
cool.
bands who can do that still. Like Knocked Loose, I've listened to a few Knocked Loose songs since people have made customs for them in Yarg, and I definitely appreciate all the attention that they're getting recently. But at the same time, yeah, I do agree that I would love to see a lot more mixture among genres. Like especially because you're seeing nowadays with like there are a lot of rap artists that are drawing very consciously from like from rock too. Like a lot of like what JPEG Mafia does is incredible in that regard.
yeah, I have a controversial opinion that
What's up?
I like Machine Gun Kelly's pop. I thought it was pretty cool. Pop punk rock, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I will say this: I'm not qualified enough to talk about it because I haven't listened to it. I just have a revulsion to all things MGK. So
I get it. That's why I said it's controversial opinion, but there's some banger songs on there.
oh, I'm sure. You know, you had what was it? Fucking Travis Barker working on it with him. So.
Which, I mean, at the time, I wasn't a fan of what Blink-182 was doing either. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's crazy how much Travis Barker has really stepped up as his own sort of producer and like hit maker in recent times. Like especially with pop punk being as revivalist as it is. Let's see. So you've mentioned that you've been to concerts, you've played concerts. Do you have any fun memories to share from any?
So the second band I was in, this was I just want to talk about the most prolific show I've played, which is, I mean, it's not saying much, but
Go ahead.
because everything I played was like local. I'm in Michigan, so
okay.
I played shows in like Lansing, Detroit, Grand Rapids, like all the big cities. But the biggest show that I played was my debut show with the second band. We played a festival, and bands that were on there were Icy Stars, Rotation, bunch of local bands. I can't remember the other headliners, but those were the big ones. And it was cool just saying I played a show with these bands that you know and you love. You know, it's cool to brag about it.
I wish I could play a festival set sometimes. I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
But the problem is they had Icy Stars on at the same time that we were on. So
Oh, that's unfortunate.
and we were playing similar styles of music. We were heavier. We were playing like deathcore style music. And it was our first set, so of course everything that could go wrong went wrong. But we got through it, and we got some fans out of it, but that band was very short-lived.
That's
like
unfortunate.
I said, we only played like 3 shows. We only had 4 songs maybe.
Yeah.
So we did kind of do some cover songs from our old band to make the set longer because we kind of got yelled at for our set being too short.
Oh yeah.
Like, you guys are done already? You still got 15 minutes. Like,
Oh,
okay.
man.
Well, we have a whole set of other songs from our old band that fortunately our drummer knows how to play, even though he was only in that band for like 5 minutes. But it kind of worked out. That was my biggest show that I played. I have more terrifying memories of shows. There was one I played. So I mentioned the Michigan cities. There's one I played in Grand Rapids, downtown.
Oh yeah.
And they put the whole town on lockdown basically while we were at the venue, because there was a man who was taking his wife hostage and
my
did a
God.
high-speed chase with the police. This was, if you want to look into this, if you want to look this up, Grand Rapids, it would have been 2011, and hostage. 2011, I believe it was. So if you look that up, that was the exact day that my concert in Grand Rapids was at. I'm gonna try and remember the name of the place.
The 2011 Grand Rapids shooting. It's got its own fucking Wikipedia page. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big deal. I mean, they basically put the whole town on lockdown.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure. I want to say his wife was one of his hostages, but I could be wrong. That's how I remembered it.
Did you all not poke fun, but did you all like be like, hey, fuck this asshole? Like, so he needs to stand down or anything like that during your concert, or were you just like,
oh yeah, here it is. He killed his wife and daughter, 5 others, and 5 others is what it says. Yeah, that's messed up, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to play music, bro. But we were in downtown Grand Rapids, and like there was like some big police presence right downtown, like 2 blocks away from where we were. So that was something to do with that.
Wow, that's.
But that was a good show. We got a lot of pictures taken there of us being all sweaty and playing music.
Well, at least you got something good out of that experience.
Oh, I didn't say it, but I played bass in both of the bands that I'm talking about.
Okay.
I also wrote lyrics occasionally, but that was like 1 song for the first band, and I wrote lyrics for 1 song for the second band. So it's a lot better now that I'm in a little more control and can just write whatever I want. But
hey, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I've always comparatively had like more trouble writing my own music because I'm not like a tonal guy. I'm more of a rhythmic sort of writer. Like, so like I'm not the best at like thinking up chord progressions, for instance. But like if I really committed to it, I could probably come up with a pretty damn good riff.
Yeah, I get that. And I always struggle with what part of the song should I do first? Should I write the rhythm, or should I, come up with a cool riff and then do a rhythm beneath it? Should I come up with lyrics first? Probably not, because I'm bad at that.
Yeah. No, lyrics have always been they've been a struggle for me too. Like I've only really been able to complete something that I can wholly connect to myself. It's hard to really abstract like my sort of songwriting process.
I don't have a difficult time with lyrics. I just have a difficult time doing things in a certain order because I cannot write lyrics and then write a song beneath it. I just can't.
Okay.
So I have to have the music done, and then I'm like, okay, so here's what I want to say, and I'm just gonna sing until I can make it work. I'll sing over the instrumental until what I want to say fits how I want it to.
Okay.
And then anyway, sorry, I went off topic there.
No, that's
fine. The
fine.
topic was about concert experiences. We played a show. This is the weirdest show I ever played, by the way. We played a show in some dude's basement. Like, it was like a house party sort of
Oh,
deal.
hell yeah. I've done that too.
And it got pretty chaotic pretty fast. So I guess what happened was, you know, it's a metal show in someone's basement, so people got aggressive.
Yeah.
Someone got pushed or punched or something, and it turned into a brawl.
Oh my god.
And then they busted a pipe, and then water started spraying everywhere. And then the guy, okay, so the kids, I don't want to say kid, he was like 19 or 20, but his dad comes in with a shotgun. He's like, all right, everyone get the fuck out. Sorry, can I swear? I didn't ask.
That is fine. That is fine. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And we're just like sitting there, like huddled up by all the like music gear in the corner where we're not getting kicked out. We're the band. We're one of the bands. We're not the ones who are getting forced out. But it was terrifying.
Oh
just
my god,
having the threat of a, you know, just some. I struggle to say redneck, but Michigan redneck with a gun.
Oh my god,
it's just terrifying.
Insane.
But I mean, we're all safe. We're all still here.
Yeah.
No one got shot at. Everyone kind of just understood the message and left.
That's good.
But yeah, I'm sitting there like panicking because it's just a scary situation that I didn't sign up for. I signed up to play music at some guy's house, not whatever that was.
Can tell you, I've never played a gig with shotgun security.
Yeah, security. No, this was all off the books. And that first band I was in, I never got paid anything for any of the shows, so it was just, you know, just doing it for the love.
I've hardly been paid things whenever I've gigged. I did get paid like a clean 100 recently for like one show I did with one of my bands, but I don't know. A lot of that money seems to have vanished somewhere, unfortunately.
It's becoming a lot less acceptable to just say like, oh, well, you're playing for exposure. Yeah, that's not really a thing that flies these days, which is good.
Yeah.
That's something I've had long rants about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want exposure these days, playing a live show to your local audience is not really the way.
Yeah, no, like it's
that's
local
like
music scenes are very hard to put together and maintain.
And after 2020, it's even harder because a lot of venues shut down.
Oh my god, yeah, tell me about it.
A lot of the scenes just kind of died and have barely come back.
Yeah.
It's not the industry that it was, and like most of my live shows were in 2011, some in 2012.
Yeah. No, I definitely I want to play out more with my bands. It's just hard being a working adult in New York City with a part-time job already, and you know my commitments to this channel. So let's see. So you play a lot of games on stream as a retro streamer. I know you mentioned you haven't really streamed as much recently, but I'm kind of curious. Like, what's your favorite game OST?
Oh, game music is not a thing I'm super into.
Oh no.
No. I mean, other than Toho Project, but that's because of all the cool arranges that are out there, and not because of the original songs. Like if I just heard the original songs, I'd be like, okay, this is video game music, cool. Yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't think I have one. I like games that use like proper real like full songs more than I like video game music style music, you know what I mean?
I see. Interesting. So you're more of a rhythm game sort of person.
Rhythm games, games that feature licensed music,
Okay.
such as like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I'm really into those. So I've
Mm.
listened to every song on all of those soundtracks
Oh
many
yeah,
times.
that's fun.
Um, just stuff like that, or like sometimes sports games will have that kind of music in it, and that's the
Yeah,
kind of music like I'll listen to any of those songs any day.
right.
Um,
Do you ever play the Rock Band or Guitar Hero games at all?
yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up when you were talking about playing the clone thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I kind of want to check that out.
Oh yeah. No, it's
I'm
fun.
a fan of Rock Band more than Guitar Hero, just because I think it feels better to play, and I don't know if it's just in
Absolutely.
my head. It might be in my head,
No,
but
I think there's something to that because the people behind the Rock Band games, that was Harmonix, the people who originally created Guitar Hero and then spun
Mhm.
off and I think were bought by MTV or whatever. Um, but I think they really dialed in better on the whole sort of rhythm game engine than than Neversoft did with Activision, and they had to make
which
fucking
yeah,
like 5 games a year or some shit with it, and it's like it's crazy. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about like Guitar Hero glitches, and it's nuts how much of that shit was allowed to fly because Activision just wanted to keep making money and beat a dead horse.
yeah. I'm pretty sure some of the Guitar Hero games actually use the Tony Hawk engine,
Oh yeah, that's
and
that's
because
right.
they have like models. Because I'm a game modder, so they have
Yeah,
model
yeah.
files that are like cross compatible between those two games, where you can kind of just drop them in, and it's it's a
That's
little
funny.
wacky. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they like rebuilt Guitar Hero into the Tony Hawk engine, which is really funny and weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But I appreciate stuff like that as being a modder and like a game dev myself.
Yeah, no, it's
It's just
definitely
interesting.
it's very cool, like the technical aspects of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band franchise. I I definitely if I had the time and or the motivation, I would or it's more so the time at this point, but I would love to write. I'd love to make an entire video essay on like the the thought that goes into like charting a Rock Band or Guitar Hero song because that whole process of just like interpreting how to play something on a 5 fret plastic guitar is
Yeah.
it's just always been fascinating to
Um,
me.
I've charted a song before. It
Oh,
wasn't very good, but it was okay enough. It was playable.
hey,
It was good enough for who it was for, which was
yeah.
random people on Frets on Fire forum or whatever.
Yeah, I've wanted to chart something for ages. I've just my thing is I would only want to chart something if I knew I would be able to do the full thing, including vocals. And I'm really not sure. I'm intimidated at the prospect of like charting an entire
Yeah,
vocal track.
I've not gone that far. I've not done vocals before. I think I did both guitars and bass
Yeah.
for the
Well, the
song I
thing
did.
is,
And
like,
that's it.
I know that with Clone Hero, they didn't have any vocal engines for people to chart with, so that makes sense.
The song I did was I made it for Phase Shift, but I
Oh
believe
yeah.
it also worked on Frets on Fire.
What was Phase Shift? Is that a sort of Guitar
It's
Hero like game?
y- yeah, basically yeah, it's just a from the ground up engine
I see.
uh that it's like Frets on Fire 2
Oh,
basically.
okay.
It's
I
like
see.
Frets on Fire, but better than that. Because it had drum support. It was the first one I believe that had drum support proper.
Yeah. Threats on
And
Fire was so weird. I mean, those browser sort of like Guitar Hero Flash games in general were
you
just really
yeah,
interesting.
I don't like those. I don't like them. Yeah, so it had drum support. It had theming support, so you can make it look like Rock Band or Guitar Hero
Oh,
or whatever
neat.
you want. You just have to download whatever theme.
Yeah, actually, that's possible too on Yarg, except it's kind of like you have to tinker around in the settings. Like they have like options if you want to play with like circular notes versus gems. Like you can set the perspective of the fretboard however you want to try and get it close to like how you prefer it in the Guitar
You don't
Hero
even
or the Rock
necessarily
Band
need a
games.
theme then. You just make it look
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
want. That's cool.
yeah.
I gotta try that one.
Yeah, it's neat.
I've also played not a lot. I played a bit of Rocksmith also.
Oh
It's
yeah.
an interesting experience. I don't have the cable, so I use my audio interface and like the hacky way to do that.
God, I'd love to
that was
try.
pretty cool.
I would love to try like Rocksmith at some point. I feel like that's if I were to learn guitar, it would probably have to be through something like Rocksmith, you know?
The method for installing custom songs is really funny.
Oh yeah.
You buy a Cherub Rock DLC, and then the DLC unlocker, not DLC unlocker, but the like custom song DLL. If you have that song, can basically inject all your custom songs into the game. So you buy one DLC, and then you can put whatever custom songs you want on there.
Oh my god. It's as Corgan himself said, who wants some honey as long as you got that money, you know? Like
Yeah.
You know, I've been I definitely want to when I have the free time, I want to sit down and try to dig into the guitar some more because God, a few years ago, I think for my birthday, my mom got me this sick red telly, and I want to one day be able to really like go to town with that thing.
Yeah. Really? I mean, the thing I tell everyone is like, you know what kind of music you like.
Yeah.
Try and play some of your favorite songs. That's how you should learn. You should.
That's true. Yeah.
Play some songs that you like, because then you're not gonna get bored of them. They're already songs you like.
Oh
You
God.
probably listened to them hundreds of times already.
I like progressive rock and psychedelic rock. I'm screwed.
Yeah, you might have to tone it down to start with. You might have to go with something you kind of like instead of something you really like.
Yeah.
But the thing I try to tell people is like one of the best things you can do is learn to play by ear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna go a long way.
It really helped me out when I was like starting off on drums. Like, well, I mean, also I picked up the drums after playing Rock Band drums, but also like really early on, like I didn't have any like formal lessons. I was just sort of playing along to stuff by listening to music on my iPod, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of artists will not necessarily release scores of their music, so you're gonna have to either rely on bad tabs or just play along with it until you can get it.
That's true, yeah.
So, but you should learn that it's a valuable skill, and you should learn songs that you like, because that's the easiest way you're going to learn the instrument. It's a lot easier than trying to compose something on an instrument you don't understand yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, do you mind if I step away real quick and go use the bathroom?
Go for it.
Alrighty. I'm putting up my toilet, and I will be right back.
Okay. Okay, break time. Toilet. I didn't know what he meant by putting up the toilet. Now I see it. Oh no. Why do I have to be next to a toilet? I definitely got more to talk about. It's already been an hour and 15 minutes, so we're doing pretty good.
All right, I have returned.
Welcome back.
I really should look into getting a fucking transition screen for whenever I'm in the bathroom, because I just have like these emojis for like a toilet or a glass of water whenever I'm getting either, you know. So
when you said I'm putting up my toilet, I was very confused, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh. Like,
it's how
what,
you
have
know.
Like
you know?
You got like a portable toilet you're setting up?
No.
Up your toilet. What, did it fall over? Yeah.
No. But anyways, what the fuck?
I was telling chat I got more to talk about, so
I'm looking forward to it.
Pretty good.
So
yeah, if you want me to lead off of that, I can.
Oh, what did you have in mind?
But if you got more for me, then
oh, okay,
you know,
sure.
I'm prepared for that too.
Still got a few questions here. We can talk a bit, I guess, about like your VTuber career. Like, what inspired you to become a VTuber?
So the year was, I believe, 2021 when I first got interested. You know, all the stuff that was going on in the world around that time. I was hanging out with friends a lot, and I got into this little game called Forza Horizon 4. And I was playing on Discord and like streaming to my friends on Discord. And they're like, you know what? You should do this thing. I was like, okay. But yeah, it was either late 2020 or 2021. I don't know. One of those years. It's been a while.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, 2021, I believe, is the year that I actually started. But yeah, I've been doing the thing since then. I'm somehow way bigger on social media than I am on Twitch. I don't like on Blue Sky. I've got like 2,300 followers or something. I'm like, why? I'm kind of funny, but I'm not that funny, right? I also am very to go off of what you said in the intro again. I'm very opinionated and very vocal. Like you may be on Twitter now. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
So that's me on Blue Sky sometimes. So some people are into that and some people don't like it. I'm like, if you don't like it, you know, just don't follow me, because I'm not gonna change.
Honestly, it's all good. You know, I feel like more people shouldn't be afraid to, you know, be decent people, which I feel like
true.
Which I feel like is lacking in the VTuber community.
Yeah. Yeah, with all that recent drama, clearly it's still an issue with the bigger VTubers.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of thoughts on that too. I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
So what got me into it was basically my friends introduced me to. They were into the early Japanese VTubers at the time, because that's what was popping off.
Like Kizuna.
This was like, no, not that early, because it was like 2021, 2020, that range.
So like Hololive.
early Hololive, yeah. And I really like Korone. She's my favorite. But they were introducing me to that basically through clips or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, this
yeah.
is kind of cool too. Maybe I should do this. So that's my origin story basically. Is I was playing games, streaming to friends, and they're like, "Hey, there's this thing you should try." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay." Also, my partner at the time was getting into it as well,
Oh, okay.
but we were practically broken up by this point and just living together.
Mm.
So we did not communicate about it a whole lot, other than the very early start of her VTubing stuff. I was helpful in some ways.
Oh, okay.
Like she was trying to make a transition and make it animate, and I'm like, I can animate that for you. It's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I do 3D stuff, and I know how
cool.
animation 3D works, but this was a 2D thing, and I'm like, I can still make that work. Like, I'll just do it. I did a 2D animation of a thing that she drew.
Oh, neat.
Which was an orange, ironically. And you are an orange of some sort.
Orange cat boy. I'm basically Garfield. So
Oh no. It's a good thing some of my friends aren't here for that one. One of my recent streams, I did a Garfield kart with my friends.
Yeah.
We play Garfield Kart Furious Racing as like a meme, like once a month ish. And like I just decided I was gonna stream last weekend, and
it's the Racer of Champions.
And yeah, it's great. It's horrible, but it's great. And then it was just a bunch of friends getting together, and I'm like, I'm gonna stream tonight because it was my stream night, which is Saturday.
Right.
Like I streamed last night too, so that's 2 weeks in a row. I'm doing pretty good.
There you go. Yeah,
I might be back into it.
I stream very, very infrequently. I used to be when I started off. I actually started off back in 2021 too, as like more of a variety streamer. Like I wanted to sort of balance like reviewing and talking about music history or whatever with playing video games and doing karaoke and all that fun stuff. And I ended up burning myself out within like a few fucking months because I didn't know what I was doing when it came to any of that. So basically I retooled myself to becoming like a video essayist deep diver sort of channel, while later on like sort of finding motivation to do more like low key like once a week sort of streams in these music talk sort of things. But even then it's been hard to really keep schedule, because sometimes when I really want to like dive into like the nitty gritty of editing one of my videos, I usually tend to like go bi-weekly with my schedule instead of once a week. It's a struggle.
Yeah, so we started probably around the same time, and I was streaming 5 or 6 days a week for my first year. Or maybe
Imagine
a little
being
longer.
burnt out. Couldn't be me.
5 or 6 days a week is crazy to me now, but I also wasn't working like a proper job. So I was able to, I got Twitch affiliate in like less than a month technically of actually being active, which was pretty cool. But it was because my friends were supporting me, because my friends are the ones who pushed me to do it.
Well, there you go.
So they were there for all my early streams. They come by sometimes still, but it's not like it used to be where they were at every stream for multiple hours. It's still cool when they pop in though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I slowed down, and like all the number stuff that I don't really care about, but the number stuff slowed down a little bit, and sometimes I'll just have a stream where I get like, a lot more viewers than I would expect. I'm
Mhm.
like, why? But this is cool, but why? I'm like this. So like even with my once a month or once every couple weeks, whatever I've been up to,
Yeah.
sometimes I just pop off and I'm like, why?
It's fun when that happens, you
But
know?
it is fun.
I like to treat that as a little treat, you know? I'm very much also not in the numbers game, so you know, it's fun whenever I get like a bunch of eyes on the work I do.
I like seeing the numbers, but I'm not disappointed if they're not significant, substantial, whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how
I
you have to operate if you're a small indie VTuber, right? Like you can't get in your head about it.
Yeah, I just you have to love what you do if you see it as a hobby, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
That's that's what my music is to me as well. My music is not profitable. I'm not gonna lie. I've spent a lot more than I've earned on music
Yeah.
by significant amount.
No, that's relatable.
Yeah. But you do it for the love of it. I'm a music collector. I've spent a ton of money buying CDs over the last couple of years,
Ooh.
especially the past year.
That's neat.
But in the past year, I've been working a job for uh what's the date today? Is it the 27th? Yeah. For literally 1 year.
Oh yeah.
I started a job a year ago that I really like.
That's
And that's
good.
afforded me being able to do some fun stuff with my money occasionally,
Yeah, yeah.
which I did not really have before.
Honestly,
There's
that's the ideal position, I think, you know, doing this while also having like an external source of income to bolster you. You know, not to say that, you know, give up on trying to become a VTuber full time or whatever, but at the same time, you know, I feel like that gives you considerably more freedom than having to chase numbers and like make your content to an algorithm, you know?
yeah, VTubing doesn't have to be expensive to start, but it
Yeah,
can be if
yeah.
you want it to be.
Absolutely.
For me, I spent very little money because I already had my PC.
Yeah, and
Um,
you made
I
a Vroid model, right?
Yeah, I use a Vroid model now.
Mm.
I've used like what would you call them? Like character creators in the past
Yeah, yeah.
that were not Vroid, like 2D stuff.
Mhm.
Um, it was just like PNGs
Like
basically.
customizable models or oh, okay.
Yeah, but they weren't models. They were
Oh,
just
okay.
images.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so I did that. What got me into the concept even before my friends said anything was I was a fan of FaceRig.
Mm,
FaceRig was a really cool program.
I
So
see.
that I played with that a little bit in my years.
Mhm.
And they got the live 2D module before it was like a popular thing to be VTubers. So I played with
Mhm.
that as like it was a DLC add-on. Played with that a bit, learned a bit about it. I made a character that was just an edit of a live 2D model at one
Mm.
point.
I see.
And I've streamed with that character before too.
Mhm.
But that's legally gray. 'Cause that's someone else's art that it's like it's corporate, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's like
Yeah.
from a video game or something, you know. Um, so they're making their money on their microtransactions. It's fine. Um, I, I'm not gonna say I've spent money on that game, but
Yeah, yeah.
I played the hell out of that game and advertised it before, so I'm sure they've made some money off me too. Uh, but yeah, I did 2D stuff with PNGs, and that I
Mm.
consider that to be VTubing just as well.
Hey, yeah.
Uh,
We love
bef-
our PNG tubers here.
to me, Vroid is still me making a concession, kind of, because
Yeah?
it's not everything I want it to be.
Oh yeah, no, I
But I
agree.
do think with enough creative energy, you can make some cool stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've done anime cosplay costumes that I sell on Pixiv or
Mm.
whatever. I think it's Pixiv.
This basically has been my default avatar for I think the past 4 years now. It's all reliable, I think.
Yeah, I noticed. So I just recently got the open hoodie thing, and I realized like you posted the thumbnail, and I saw your model. I'm like, wait, you have that too. It's like the same thing I have.
Yeah. The
It's
game
kinda cool.
recognized game.
Yeah, so I'd been using just the default one, and I painted a zipper on it, and like, okay,
Yeah,
fine for me. And then I saw that on, is it Pixiv? Is that what I'm thinking of? Whatever the site where you can buy Vroid assets.
Oh yeah. It's a
Booth. Thank you.
Booth. That's right. That's right.
It came to me when I was typing in Pixiv, and then Booth came up. But yeah, that's also where I sell my Vroid stuff that I make. So I bought that zip up hoodie just literally a few days ago, and I hadn't even seen your model. So I was gonna go watch your streams to see what they're like.
Technically speaking, I didn't buy this one, right? I made it myself. There was a there was a hoodie model in Vroid that I took, and literally I just like shore like the front off of it, and then I got these PNGs of zipper patterns that I basically
I can tell it's
glued to the sides.
Yeah, I can tell it's a little different.
Yeah,
but it's similar, and like I was just surprised because I'm like, I just did that to my model with the open zipper.
It's fun. I like when I figure something out in Vroid.
But yeah, I did buy it because I'm like, I can make stuff in Vroid, but there's a limit to what I'm willing to do, like the amount of effort I'm willing to put into something. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't have the energy for it, and this looks like what I want, and I'm just gonna like paint it however I like.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Very cool. Cool.
I did change it, but it's it's a lot easier than making it myself.
Yeah. So, what do you hope to do ultimately as a musician in the Vtuber community? Do you have any dream goals or collabs or anything like that?
Right now,
what do you hope? I hate to use a word this heavy, but what do you hope your legacy is essentially?
Right now, my entire focus is completing my album.
Okay.
And I want to have a guest vocalist on every song as much as possible.
Oh hell yeah.
So it's going to be a showcase of people. That's essentially the goal. It's like, here, you can showcase your vocals. I get my song as I wish it to be because I'm gonna pick the vocalist who suits the song. And you're going to be able to showcase your vocals and have the attention of my audience on YouTube, which is like nearly 2,000 subscribers, on Twitch, which is like 500, and then on Blue Sky it's 2,000.
Right.
So you get all that attention on you to show what you've got. I'm gonna credit you everywhere, of course, because I'm like that. I'm that kind of person. But my goal is to release this album. That's my big thing right now. I don't know where I go after that, but that's my big thing that I'm working on. It's been crowdfunded, but yeah, but my creativity has not been funded yet. So I just need to get the energy to come up with stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
not burnout. It's not burnout. It's more like I don't have the creative focus.
No,
that I need.
it's true. You know, when you're engaged in a massive project that takes like months, you sort of get to a point when you approach the end where you're like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to do anything else for like a fucking month. You know? Like,
yeah. If it were only months, I would agree with you. But I'm talking years at this point.
Oh God.
Like I said, I was supposed to release this album the end of last year. That was like my final release date.
Yeah.
Plan. it was like I set a deadline for myself, and I'm like, yeah, it's not ready. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But now I'm more shifting focus to getting all these guest vocalists on board, which
there
is
you
going
go.
it's going to take more time, but it's
Yeah.
going to make a better product.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to release another demo album. I want this to be like the real thing.
Are there any like big names that you would love to have like guest on your songs?
Well, the biggest name, she's already done songs for me, which is OP2C.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
I don't know if this works.
Sending me something
On
in
YouTube,
chat,
on YouTube it's this. I believe. But if you just search that without the @ it'll she'll come up. I've worked with her on a couple songs, and she's also on the final version of 2 songs that are going to be on the album. And she's really, really good.
Nice.
I've been doing call out posts on Blue Sky. That's the only place I'm really active socially. So that's where I'm trying to find more talent to include. And I've got a few people who are interested, and I've got one person who did the whole vocal for one of my songs already.
There you go.
That's mostly done, except I have a vocal part on that song, which is not done. And I'm not re-recording that song from the previous single version, so it's just new vocals on the song. It's already done besides that.
I see.
So I've got that song done. I've got the 2 songs with OP done. And I'm looking at like probably 7 more songs at least.
Okay.
I've got 2 that are fully written. I'm just waiting to like re-record them and have someone do vocals on them. Performing at Budokan. Yeah. Yep, that'll happen later this year. See you there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Haha. Yeah, I would love, like, we were talking about the Vtuber band thing. I'd love to play at like conventions or whatever, but I would I'd want to have an actual band, not just me. I can't do it alone. So I'd probably be playing bass on my songs most likely, but I'd also be willing to play guitar. I would just have to practice a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shame in being a multi-instrumentalist in the band and swapping off instruments between songs.
That's true.
Literally, one of the bands I'm in, like 3 of its members, they swap guitars all the fucking time, and I'm just back there with the drum set in my own little world.
So yeah, if I had, what's known as like touring musicians, if I had that, I would absolutely play shows live.
There you go.
No doubt. So if beyond this album, that's an opportunity that presents itself in some way, because this album needs to come out first before.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of eyes on my music right now. Anyway.
Right.
And my music is not that great right now because it's all demos and, a couple songs that sound kind of finished.
Yeah.
But
are you producing it yourself?
Yeah, because I can't afford to do studio stuff.
Right.
So I've got my home studio set up. I cannot mix or master to save my life, but I'll make it sound good enough. It's not gonna sound professional.
It's a learning experience.
It's gonna sound better than the stuff I've released in the past, and that's really
it's all a learning experience. I literally just the other day I was with one of my bands. We were finalizing the mixes and masters of this EP we've had in the works for like literally a year. Our bassist, he bought like a shit ton of mics. He started really like digging into like how to produce, and he subscribed to like this producers forum or whatever, where he was sending like versions of our songs to like these people who like knew what they were doing for feedback or whatever. And it's just like he kept on learning, and now like when we finally sit down to make the final tweaks, it all sounds like it sounds professional. Like it doesn't even sound like we really recorded it like on our own,
Yeah, that's what
It's
you
all a
aim for.
process.
Yeah, I have so I recorded one of my newer songs, and there's a part of it that sounds like super fucking clean and like
Yeah.
it sounds professional. And then the rest of it sounds so bad that it drags the whole thing down. So I have to re-record that song. But I really like the lead into the chorus, and the whole chorus sounds fantastic the way I
Yeah.
recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to re-record everything else and maybe leave that as it is.
But I see.
Yeah, it's a big process, and when I'm doing everything myself and I don't have the time, I don't have the creative mind active, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I did, so that kind of leads into my next thing. I did do a thing a couple years ago now where, so these are songs that are for this album.
Sure.
I'm still writing them. I did a thing where I did live streams. And I was like, okay, this is a songwriting live stream. I'm just gonna write a whole song on the stream. And I did.
There you go.
Two of the best songs I ever wrote, which are called Horizon and Believe, were written in front of my Twitch fans.
There you go, yeah.
And I'm like sitting there asking them for feedback, and I'm making a better song for it.
Like production and composition streams, that shit is a lot of fun if you can
composing on stream is it's a whole different vibe than just trying to come up with something.
If you have the bravery for it and you really want to commit to it, I definitely think that that is a fun way to be a musician in your Vtuber content. But I don't know. I would feel exposed like trying to do something like that because I don't know shit about like production, and like I said, it's hard for me to really come up with songwriting ideas.
Yeah. So I use Tux Guitar as a means to notate my music. I see. And I will use it to write my songs. I'll straight up write my songs in that application, and it's great.
Yeah. I've personally used like GarageBand in the past, like that. It's really easy to play with like the MIDI tracks on that and put up and get something like semi-coherent to present to a band.
I struggle with drums. I'm not gonna lie. If writing drums is not my thing.
Well, hey, if you ever need somebody to sub in or like do some sort of part, I've got like a MIDI connector I can, try to chart something out.
Yeah, if you're ever feeling creative, I mean, just listen to one of my songs and see that the drums are horrible. You can come up with whatever you like. I would accept it. I'm looking for guests to feature all the time, so I would not mind.
Hey,
someone
there you
who's
go.
Definitely more experienced with drums than I am. I don't even have a kit, so I just I make a beat that keeps the tempo of the song. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'll throw in a fill or something every now and then, but it's never anything special.
Hey, we're all getting somewhere. I'm always eager to see if I can do a collab.
Yeah, I'm always up for something like that. So
let me see. So I've already gone through quite a bit of the questions here on my list. I think I can ask my final one here, because it's getting near the end of the stream, and usually when we approach the end, I like to ask. It's been a very, like I said at the start, it's been a very chaotic week, and even beyond that, year. So something I've been wondering of my guests recently is like what sort of music they turn to in times of stress. Like what's your vibe? Do you try to be more cathartic, or like do you try to be in your feelings, or
so I have basically my nostalgia songs. Or basically anything that's on my music player is good for me. So if you go to my Discogs, I have my whole CD collection on there. That's all the music that's on my music player, except for stuff that's not documented on Discogs yet. So I could share that, but It's really just whatever's in my collection or on my YouTube playlist that I go to. It's stuff. It's comfort songs, so it's stuff. I'm I'm of the neurodivergent type that can just listen to the same stuff over and over and over.
Yeah,
So, or I'll watch my same TV shows that I've seen 10 times before and still
right,
enjoy
yeah.
them. So it's stuff that I know what I'm getting into. That's what I go to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want
I
to like
dig.
I don't want to listen to something I've never heard before if I'm feeling
Yeah,
stressed.
no, absolutely. It helps to have something familiar to ground yourself.
So I mean, if you want something specific, let's see if my playlists are public. They probably are. I'm gonna open a new YouTube tab.
Mm.
Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, they are. Okay. So if you go to the Lunar Shift YouTube channel, which is just at Lunar Shift, and you go to the playlist tab, I've got a few playlists there. I've got
that's just your mood music.
I got my guilty pleasures playlist, which is what I call normie songs. I've got my favorite J music. I've got my favorite Dojin music, and I believe there's a playlist that is not public on there.
Oh, okay.
Which is just heavier songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a playlist for that. I can switch over and see if I can public that. That's the kind of stuff.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Post-hardcore, metalcore, etc. It's not public. It's unlisted. I could fix that. Public. Save. Yeah. So that's the stuff. In terms of what's not necessarily on my music player, but everything else is just what's in my collection, basically.
That's dope. Yeah, I dig that. So usually I would ask if you have anything else to say, but I just got one of the an unfortunate notification from my Raycon earbuds that it's at a low battery, so I'm tempted to end stream now just so I can go, recharge that and not have to deal with that midstream. Is that fine with you?
Okay. That's fine. Check out Lunar Shift on YouTube. That's where I post my music.
Hell yeah. Thank you for coming on, Akiko. It was fun talking with you.
I'm not a YouTuber. I stream on Twitch. And I'm on Blue Sky. That's everything.
Let me drop your Twitch in the chat real quick. Kumagara.
And like the react things.
Guys, I did it. It's working. It was a fun chat. I had fun.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for coming on again, and go follow Akiko, you guys. If you haven't already followed her already, I mean, I know there's a few of her shooters in chat already. But otherwise, yeah, thank you all for coming to yet another Music Talk stream. Hopefully I'll have more news in a bit about my progress on the deep dive. I'm almost at like 3 hours, 30 minutes, so hopefully I'll be hitting the 4-hour mark soon. It's fingers crossed I'll be done by next week, but do not hold me to that. Oh my god.
Deepest dive.
Yes. Let me see. Is there anyone I can dump you off at here? Any friends? Let's go to Kendra. I usually tend to end by going to Kendra's stream since she usually streams around this time. All right.
Bye, people. Good night.
But yeah, if you guys want to join me on my raid, feel free to type in cat raid in Kendra's chat like so. But otherwise, if you want to go and enjoy your night, otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic night, and I will see y'all next time. Bye bye.